I just realized that I wasn't talking to anybody. I had my mic off. I'm so sorry, guys. I've been talking for like the last 30 seconds. Such is life, I suppose. You would think doing meetings, I would like meetings on a regular basis over video. I would know to check my mic, but you would be incorrect. Just can never get my brain together. Alrighty, guys. Let's work on some manga stuff today. We have lots to do today. I did like a really ugly, like, quick sketch of what I might want this panel to look like. And then the other thing we're gonna work on is we're gonna work on this panel up here. Try to maybe to get this page done today. I say that every day, and then I never actually get a page done. So that's what we're gonna do today. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna turn the that off. That way I have like a nice smooth gradient to work with, and I'm not distracted by the moire pattern. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to flip this. I draw Aros better when he's at this angle. So I just have to remember that it's flipped. And then I need to be careful about like doing his anatomy. You can see that I really struggled drawing him. So I'm going to see if drawing him from this angle will be better. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably go ahead and clean up the sketch first. Make my life a little bit easier. And then go in and draw the official version. So I don't know, maybe I'll like what I come up with next. Who knows? I don't know anymore. I just know that this is what I have to do. But this is what I have to do, so I'm gonna do the thing. Let's see here. Let's see. I was gonna show you guys something. I don't remember. Let me move some stuff around. See, that was a reference that I wanted to keep, so I'll put that up here. Because I really liked how the wind was done in this one. So I'm going to keep that up here so I can keep it as my reference. I'll thin this window. Okay. Yeah, now I can see everything. Perfect. Okay. Alright, now let's keep going. Alright, so with this, Aros's eyes are more like half moon shaped almost. This would go over further. So all I'm doing here is I'm just correcting my sketch a little bit, trying to actually make it look like Aros. I'm actually going to move this over here so I can see him better. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move the entire panel over. Move this back really quick, and then I'll just move the whole darn thing. I tried moving it back over here, but for some reason I just like it better here. I like having my... And what's really funny is this is roughly the same layout that I use on my drawing tablet, so, or my Samsung. Let's try this. Let's see. See, sometimes just the right angle just makes everything a lot easier. That's why I tell people not to worry too much about how clean your sketches are unless you're like one of those people that just needs really clean sketches to work from. I do when I do my inking. That's why I have 2 sketching phases, because I need really clean inks to work from. this light should be a little bit lower. Hi, Miso. Hi. Hi, Miso. What you need, Babs? What you need, Babs? What? Well, you can't, Miso, you can't sit in my arms today. You have to be in my lap. Yep. Well, she just decided to leave. But I will give you an image of Miso if you so wish. Here, gaze upon my beautiful cat, who just decided to leave. She was taking a nap while I was sitting here eating my dinner, so I think she's kind of already done for the day. You miss her already. Dude, what are you doing, Miso? Oh, she went to go lay in her. She has this little kennel thing that I made. It's like a folding kennel. It's meant for like 55-pound dogs, so it's really big. And I put my sleeping bag in it because she loves the sleeping bag. I think it's the cool texture of it. So my sleeping bag is in there for her. And she likes laying on it. That is too high on his head. She's a good girl. She's a good cat. Alright, so this is roughly a good sketch here. And he's got his head turned. So here's this shoulder. Here's his... How does it go down on his back? Alright, it's more up here. Okay. Alright. And what are you up to, Yame-chan? How you doing? I'm actually going to put the text in now while I'm here. I don't know why it's on Zybot's. It should be imaginary friend and then bolded. Alright, this will need to be recentered. Let me temporarily flip this back so I can edit this and position it properly. Oh my gosh, look at the spacing! Oh my goodness! Wow! It's way too high. See, I'm okay. Had cramps a little while ago, but I'm back at my desk drawing, working on a personal project. Nice! Nice! Well, I hope it goes well for you. Hope you feel better. I just realized you guys couldn't hear the music! Oh no! I'm so sorry, guys. I've had music going this whole time. Goodness. My brain is just all over the place today. Today has been a day. Today is a day. It is indeed a day today. I was like, I was like, wow, I wish the music was a little louder. And then like I go to look at my mixer and I'm like, oh, I bet my audience wishes that too. There's no audience. I should say something if there's no music, you silly gooses. Goodness gracious. Alright, sorry, I was just taking my antibiotics that I totally forgot to take. Oh, I gotta take my medicine really quick, guys, sorry. Gotta finish the antibiotics, you know how it goes. Huzzah. This is my last dose. I don't know why I said dosed. I've been on antibiotics for a week because I got a tooth pulled. And the tooth went into my sinus cavity, and so they put me on antibiotics. Alright, I'm officially done with those. Finally! Okay. I wanted to take them while I remembered. Otherwise I was gonna forget. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, so we see how this is so far apart. We don't want that. And in lettering, changing the line spacing is actually pretty common with fonts. What I'm gonna do, there's a little pencil icon here. Hopefully, I don't know if you guys can see this. Looks like you guys can't. Okay, so you guys can't see this. But what you should do is select the font, and then when you open the font, there's a section called line spacing. I like to set mine to about 94, like 94 to 95. As far as the spacing, it feels a little bit better. See how that looks a little bit better, spacing-wise? I might push them even closer, but we'll see how it looks once I settle on it. I'm gonna make this a little smaller. Because what I need to do is I need to bring this line in here. See this line here? It goes into my nodal area. I need to close that. I only extended it so I could do the drawing without having to like move stuff around, so I could have more space to do the drawing. But now I need to actually like move everything. Don't you love it when you take medication and then you throw up in your nose a little bit? Yeah, that didn't feel very good. Oof, that hurt. Hey JMB, what's up? combine these two and put them in their own folder called text. I want to take these. I'm gonna move them. How small is too small? Typically you don't want to go lower than 5. 5 would probably be considered too small. Or sorry, 12. I don't know why I said 5. 12 would be considered too small, but it also depends on the size of your canvas that you're starting with. If you're starting with like a large, say like B4 at 600 DPI, then 12 is probably too small. When it's printed, you don't want it to be smaller than 12. So one of the things that you could do would be to actually like import something. So I'll show you what I do to solve that based on like just pretending like I don't know what size canvas I have. So I'll just show you guys what I would do or what I did do to get my font size. So I'm going to import like any random manga page just to like get a rough idea of like what font size I should be using. I usually use somewhere between 15 and 17. So I'm going to import a manga page that I have here for like, you know, like practice drawing. Let me go grab it really quick. References. Inspiration from others. Manga. So I wanted to pick like a more modern series. Excuse me, sorry. I mean, not a modern series. I like the older series because that's just what I like. I don't know why I said modern. I like older series, you know, that's just what I like. So I grabbed a page here from, I believe it's Red River. Actually, I don't think this is Red River. No, this is Fushigi Yugi. Okay, this is Fushigi Yugi. So what I did is I have a page here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this. This won't be exact, but it'll be a close guess. So basically the line right here is our... Actually, let me grab this one because this is a little bit more obvious. The line right here is the nodal area. So I'm going to end it right where the page should be. So I'm going to copy this. I'll throw it in here. I'm going to size it up. Now remember, the lines may not 100% perfectly line up, but this should roughly be the trim. Okay, yeah, so it's not going to quite line up. Yeah, it's not super surprising. So right here, oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. So this here would be the, this is an interior, this is like the nodal, so technically it would be lined up like this. So, like regular manga, their like Hanmen line is a little bit different. So this would be roughly what it would look like if it were in here. So what I can do now is I'm gonna turn this a different color, and I'm gonna go grab a font. And I'm gonna type in, oh, it's trying to go in my, thing here. I'm gonna type the same font, so you really like, of course it's in. Why are you all the way at the bottom? For real, dude? Hang on, guys, sorry. I don't know why you'd put the text all the way at the bottom. So frustrating. So many layers. I don't even want to know how many layers I have. It's so annoying that it does that. It's like so stupid that it... And why is it in Zite? That's such an ugly ass font. Alright, so the font that I'm going to be using is Cloud Splitter. So you really like kids. Don't you Tama Kome. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to size this up so that it's roughly the same. And that'll tell me, you know, about what size font I want to be using. And it's just a rough guess. It's not exact. It's a rough guess. So you can see here it's a little bit too big. So this is at 15. Bring it down. So 13. Yep, about 13. So this probably would be the smallest that I would go for mine. I wouldn't go any smaller than this. I would consider this my minimum. So that's how I decide like what kind of font size I want to use. Just to give me like a rough estimate. And then if you want, you could take like another one. So for example, I also have one from Red River. Let me grab the Red River one. Let's see, manga pages. Here's one from Red River. We'll do the same thing and we'll see if we can get like a different size. Just to kind of experiment and see like what size it might use. Alright, and this would line up here. Again, remember every single like page is gonna be just a little bit different. As far as like, it's never gonna line up perfectly because every publisher has slightly different like margins and stuff. So let's find out like what it would be if we were to use this one. Yeah, so it's just like it's a good way to compare because it's gonna depend on like how big your file size is, if you're using bigger or smaller than normal, what kind of DPI you're using, like it's all gonna depend. And this way you can also check like what kind of spacing am I using. All right, this is for Taito. You bastard. So you can see using this one, it's a lot bigger than this one. It's a lot bigger. Even if we compare it to this, it's a lot bigger. So every comic, every manga is a little bit different. That's why you want to try different things and see what you think will work best for you. This one also has slightly different line spacing. We can see here that it's a little bit closer together. I would say it's maybe like a 110, 105, not a huge difference. So this one uses 18, about 18. There we go. So about 18, 19. Let's double check it up here. See, the line spacing up here is very different. So, yeah. But it's also a completely different typeface, you know, so this is just a rough guess. Way to get an estimate. So even here, if you compare the line spacing here, it's very different. So that's why it's important to study other manga and how they letter things. Again, this one's also very different. I think the spacing here would be about 95, maybe. I think it's in the 90s. Let me check. Oh, it's 100. It's 100 line spacing. I was close. Yep, so that's 100 line space rather than like 94, which is what I like to use. So, yeah, just use manga that you know and study them. Basically what I do is I just line up the height. That way I know, hey, like this is roughly this proportion. And again, it's not exact, but it'll give you a rough estimate on like what size fonts you want to use. That's why I usually stick with like 15 to 17. It's windy out there. Yeah, I gotta push these closer together. That's still like too far apart, I think. Hey, Michael, what's up? Aw, thank you. Yeah, thanks for reminding me to tell everybody. If you guys are so kind, if you could add a like, it will help my channel grow. It helps YouTube see that people actually like my content and push it out to more people so other people can learn and enjoy it as well. Thank you so much, Michael, for the reminder. Alright, so I'm going to push this back in where it should be. Alright, this is a little too high. It's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, and what I might do is I might resize Aros. So let me resize this a little bit, just to kind of try, like maybe I could do this. Typically I like to have the bubble or the text in the upper part of it if possible. But what I might do is I might do this. Let's try something new. Let's try something else and see if I like it better. Alright, so I'm going to grab this now. This right here. Bring this down. We can try putting it here and see if this works better. So this is part of the layout process. So usually what I'll do is I'll sit here and I'll like try different things and I'll move things around and see what works best, because here we have a lot of dead space that's really not that helpful. The other option would be for me to leave this here and then put like it on top of Aros. I'd rather make it look like Aros. So the reason why I want to go with this is this puts Aros in a corner. It makes it feel a bit more dynamic because we've got a slight bit of an angle here, and it makes it feel almost a little more claustrophobic to him. Plus he's changing direction, right? So we're breaking the 180 rule. The reason why I'm breaking the 180 rule here is because the direction of the story, the plot is changing, but I want the motion to I still want the story to feel like it's moving forward. I think that's why I didn't like the version before, is I felt like it was staying the same. So I'll bring a layer up here, and I'll draw this out for you, and I'll show you guys what I mean. So Control A, Control X, monochrome color. Alright, so here's the breakdown of what I mean by these things, and these things are really important to understand when you are doing, when you're boarding your pages and you're planning out your compositions. It's really important to know like the flow and the direction of the story, right? So remember, my pages are, of course it's gonna auto-save right as I start drawing. Thanks, Clip Studio. My pages go right to left, right? So our first page here, we have this action, we have this flow. Very simple S-curve. Rin is facing this way because she's an opposing character. She's a negative force. So she's opposing, she's facing the other way. She's got her arrow pointed this way. She's opposing progress because she's a villain character. The character here who wants to go find Rin is going with the story flow. Aros is also facing the story flow. So that's why I have these facing the directions that they do. Aros is still facing the story flow here because he's still facing this particular character. The reason he changes he is facing this way to jar the reader. I purposely want this to be, wait, what? Like, that's what I want it to feel like. Like, Aros is suddenly facing the same direction, and this is why stuff like silhouette, like strong silhouettes, strong character shapes, like having really unique faces for each character is really important, because when you intentionally break this rule, it will help your reader. Miso, what are you doing? Sorry, Miso's making a bunch of noise. It's really important for your reader to be able to understand, okay, who is this character? Is this the same character? So they don't have to stop and question, oh, who is this? We still know who it is. But notice that the direction flow is still not technically broken. Aros is facing this way. He thinks and then he looks. He thinks and then he looks. He's turning. And then on this particular panel, he is still turning within the story flow direction. And so now he's technically facing the same way again. So it's a momentary, wait, what? And then he turns around and then the story direction continues right to left like it should. So by having a small moment here where I kind of break that 180 rule, it causes the audience to pause and go, wait, something's wrong. Because it is. Like, Rin, this oppositional character, is now lurking above him, right? So that changes the entire tone and feel of the story, and like you want the reader to feel anxious just a little bit. So there are times where you purposely want to break the 180 rule, and when you do it, you want to be sure you do it for a good reason. Don't just do it to like be cool. Rule of cool only takes you so far, right? You gotta do it intentionally. So that's the kind of the conclusion that I came to last night when I was doing sketches and trying. Yesterday I decided that the original sketch I had in this particular panel I didn't like. And I was trying to figure out why I didn't like it, and that's the only thing that I can think of that I didn't like. Is it kind of felt boring. Like that one was supposed to be tense, and it was Aros facing the same direction. He was facing right to left, and it felt boring. So I turned him around and like threw him up in the corner. I'm like, oh, this is it. This is perfect. So sometimes the first idea you have isn't the best one, and it might take a couple times to get the right sketch. So that's the logic behind the like what I'm thinking as I'm messing with this panel. That's the kind of stuff that I'm thinking about. And the reason why we want the like this right here to be really strong is Mekuri Goma and Hiki Goma. So I'll write these words out for you guys. Yeah. Thank you. When I'm drawing like this, I try to make sure that I stop and actually tell people why I'm doing things, because that's why I do this. So this particular panel has a name, and it's called Hikigoma, and you could translate that as lead, like leading panel. Basically, is what you could translate that to, and it's the panel before the page turn. And the reason why you want to make sure that this panel is interesting is this is the panel that's going to make them want to turn the page, right? This is the setup. What's the setup? It doesn't have to be a cliffhanger necessarily. It just has to be a smooth motion to make the page turn really easy. Think of it as smooth. You want it to be something that continues the motion. Because if someone stops reading, like, this panel not being interesting enough might be a reason they stop reading. Like, this is one of the pitfalls you could run into as a manga or comic creator, because this stuff applies to comics as well. It's just the reverse. And then this type of panel over here, this one, oops, monochrome, color. This one right here is what we call Mekuri Goma. And I'll write this here. Oopsie. Mekuri Goma. Mekuri Goma. And it's... I'm trying to figure out like a good way to translate that. It's like... it's like a reward almost. Like it's not necessarily a reward. It's like, oh, here's the next step. Here's the path here. Like, here's the reward for flipping the page, right? It's like a reveal almost. It's like, okay, now that I put the setup for the Hikigoma, which was on the previous page, I'll actually show you here. So on the previous page, this bottom panel with the sparrows was the Hikigoma. This was saying, hey, like, these sparrows here, like, they mean something. Like this means that these birds, they follow Rin, which is Amat's top soul collector. And then I need to change this text, so forgive me. But then we show who is that? Who is Rin, the top soul collector? It's this character. So, ooh, that's important. We need to know what this character looks like, but I don't want to show all of her. I don't want to, like, give all of it away, so I give most of it away. This is generally her silhouette, what she looks like. And they're also like, oh, you'll just fly into her hands if you go. Like, I wouldn't go. So we give more information. We continue the development. But this panel here, oh, well, I'll get back to that one in a second. So as we flow here, we get more information. And they're always just like, oh, you know, like, whatever. Like, if you go, like, you're gonna die, da-da-da. And then he's like, oh, what's that? A cold wind. And they live in a tropical place, which we established earlier you know, tropical place. It's nice and warm, right? So cold breezes probably don't happen that often unless you live near the ocean. Thanks for your input, Miso. I didn't ask for it. She's so silly. So then when we finally see Aros turn to look up in here, we just established that Rin is this bad character. That she's like this top soul collector. And oh my gosh, she's looming over Aros. And she's laughing at him and like mocking him. So that's kind of like the setup that we're using here. So once we see here, like, oh no, what's gonna happen? Oh, she leaves. That's really weird. But she tells him, you know, like, hey Aros, it's time for some fun. Hurry, hurry. And then Aros' response to all of this is, now I have to go kill him. I have to go unalive him. Like, what? Weren't you just talking about healing people? So, well, you know, so basically what we're doing is every double page spread that we have is its own setup. Is its own, like, small little wave of interesting every single 2-page spread. That's why it's really important to think in 2-page spreads and think about your page turns and your reveals. And then there's one more thing here, something called misegoma, which is misegoma, and that's your focus panel. So like, what is the most important panel on each 2-page spread? Or arguably each page. And in each 2-page spread, there should be one panel, depending on the sequence, but there should be one panel that is the most important. Like, what is the one panel in any 2-page spread that is the most important, and give that one, you know, give that one the most, like, attention, the most detail, and Miso darling. Miso darling. Miso-chan. What, Babs? What's going on, baby? Are you okay? Are you okay, Babs? Alright, come here. Yeah, come here, baby. You're so noisy, my goodness. What's going on? What's going on, Babs? Were you guys hearing her in the background? So noisy. Silly baby. Here. Take a nap. Go lay down. Get some rest. No, ma'am. Get in your bed. Miso baby, please. Sit. Shh. You're okay. You're fine. What's it? What are those? Keys? Yeah? No, honey, no. No, ma'am. Stop. Shh. There you go. You're okay. You can calm down. There you go. Good girl. Yeah? Yeah. Let everyone hear your beautiful purring right now. Cat ASMR that nobody asked for. Miso rubbing her face all over my mic. It's okay, Miso. It's okay. I know, baby. I didn't get to play with you today like I usually do. I'm sorry. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, so that's kind of like my thought process behind all of this stuff. So, hope that was helpful. what is a miso? Is there a storm coming in, Miso? Is that why you're all excited? Yeah. Your storm coming in? There sure is. It's gonna rain tonight. Yeah. Alright, let's finish sketching. Miso's like, pay attention to me. Miso, you're so funny. I'm right here, Miso. I'm right here. Miso, I cannot paint and draw at the same time. That's physically impossible. Do you wanna sit in my arms while I draw? Is that what this is about? Is that what this is about? Come on. Come on, Miso. Come on. You know the deal. Come on. Come on. You know how this works. You know what the deal is. Let me move my mic. Yup. There you go. Assume the position. She's doing the thing where she has to lay in my arms while I draw again. Alright, alright. She's very clingy today. We stand Miso in this house. Yeah, she's very clingy today. It's alright. She's usually really good most days, so. She's good about letting me have my time to work, so I'm willing to work with her on this one. Nope. Miso, you cannot have both hands. You get one hand. You get one hand, Miso. You don't get both of them. There you go. Good girl. She's so silly. She really is just like a big, like, cuddle bug, honestly. You need to decide where you want to be, Miso. Here, let me try this. There you go. Oops, auto save. There it goes. Oh, I hate when that happens. We're like, oh yay, it's perfect. And then you're like, oh. It's one of those moments, isn't it? I do this sometimes when I have like, you know, like windy stuff like this, and I'm like, oh yeah, like that lines up with the eye, I shouldn't do that. I'm happy now, Miso. Miso, honey, my goodness, you have so much energy today. What's up, Babs? Want to go look out the window? Okay, go have fun. Go look at the window. Maybe you'll see your spider owl friend or thing. Maybe you'll hear your owl friend if you go sit in the window. There's an owl that lives in the trees out here, and every time the owl starts making noise, Miso has to go sit in the window. And the last 2 times, when she has gone into the window herself, the owl will start making noise. So I like to joke that her and the owl are friends. Go sit in your window, maybe the owl will talk to you. Alright, so this is that side. So he actually has a lot of hair that's on the side of his face. be sure I'm including, because I want people to see that this one exists. This one here is the important one. This little, like, seemingly inconspicuous little orb is the important one. Alright, let's see, we can do the actual drawing. I think I got all the basic details about him in here. That eye isn't quite correct. Let me turn that off temporarily so I can check it. Ooh, that's a fun one. Favorite music I like to listen to? It's not the stuff I'm listening to right now. And then like it says copyright safe. My favorite music while listening, let's see. Let me actually turn it up for you guys, because I just realized it's probably really low for y'all. My favorite music to actually listen to while I'm drawing is... that's really hard. I don't really have like a specific favorite music. I listen to a lot of different things. Mostly I really like indie, like just like chill indie music. But I also really like listening to like 90s country. I know that's might be a surprise for some of y'all. But I really like 90s country. And maybe like late 80s country. Like Shania Twain, Garth Brooks, Reba McEntire, Diamond Rio, Montgomery Gentry, that, like, those kinds of guys. That's the stuff that I really like listening to. I don't know if that was an expected answer. I'm gonna flip this again and double check it, make sure it looks good. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, now let's do the real one. This time I don't really mind it being messy, or I don't really mind it being like not super neat, because of the feel of the panel. I'm okay with it being a little cruder, if that's a word even. trying to get like less specific about my details over time because there's just no way I can keep up the crazy detail that I do. So I'm trying to get like less obsessed about it. Okay, cool, yeah, that don't feel so bad then, because sometimes, like, well, especially, like, country music, people are like, ew, country music, and I'm like, guys. A lot of people are surprised that I listen to country music. They're like, but, you know, they're like, oh, I thought because you liked anime, you wouldn't like country music. I'm like, well, then you don't know anime fans very well. Like, they all assume we're into pop and stuff. I'm not a super big pop fan. It really depends on the pop music, to be honest. Oof, that doesn't look very good. That's not too sad. Let's do this. Maybe it's like... I can never explain the type of music people play. I don't know how to explain it, yeah. Like, I don't know how to explain what I listen to. It's kind of like... I also really love folk music in general. Like cultural folk music. I think they call it world music. I really like listening to all kinds of different things. I've really gotten into Norse folk music lately. Hey, Chauncey, what's up? How you doing? What's up? That's adorable. Of course it's gonna autosave. Right when I'm trying to do something too. When else would it autosave? Surely not when I'm doing anything important! Oof, running out of energy already today, guys. Tired. I might have to stop it early today, guys. I'm pretty sleepy. I'd really love to take a nap right now. Eating dinner? Nice. You're good. You know I usually stream for at least an hour or two. Really short stream earlier today or earlier this week, and I feel bad if I stop it now. I mean, the option would be for me to stream like extra long tomorrow as like an alternative. Every time, and that's why I hate the antibiotic. Like the antibiotic and the Sudafed. Every time I take them, I get tired. Thankfully, those were my last doses of both of them, so. That's okay, I know what you meant. I speak fluent typo myself. I'm gonna try to at least get this panel done. At least get the inking done. I hope these look like the same character. I think this is a little too soft. I'm going to edge this a little bit more. I do have Twitter. Yep, I can grab a link for you if you like. I don't think I put it in my descriptions. That's a good idea though. Let me put that in my description right now. It's a good idea. Alright, thanks for the recommendation. I went ahead and added that to my Twitter description, or my YouTube description as well. Thanks for the suggestion, that's a good idea. Let me get rid of the shading for right now, and I'll fill it in later. I think this year would be pretty much obscured by all of his hair now that I look at it. And this would go this way. Maybe some of it would be visible. Most of it wouldn't be. I'll draw that in later. Let me get this in first. Nice, thank you. Thank you for following me on Twitter. Get this put in. Good news is it's filled in with black anyway, so it's not really gonna matter that much. It does need to be a little thinner though. I do want these to be thinner braids. Actually, get rid of this. I'd rather... I'm gonna do something later. And I'll show you guys later what I'm gonna do with this. So forgive me if it looks a little weird right now. These all on different layers. This way, this will have more room to breathe if I bring it down here. I just don't want these to be the same angle too much. That, or I may just not draw that much of this one. That's okay. I can render that in manually, not a big deal. Put that right here. And here's the necklace. Here's a shirt. Cannot draw a circle today. It's okay if it's a little stretched out because it's a dramatic pose, so it's okay. This will be a thicker cord. Mom. Hey, Nora, what's up? Oh, nice. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. I'm always happy to have new folks stop by. And if you ever have a question, don't hesitate to let me know. One of the things that I like to do here is, if someone catches me in a live stream and they have a question, to answer it. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm assuming you also make manga and comics then? If you do, can you tell me what it's about? I always love learning, what, people who follow me and stuff, I always love learning, what they make, so don't hesitate to share. And thank you so much for subscribing. Tattoo in here, so I'm just gonna import it and like liquefy it rather than like redrawing it and trying to make it perfect. So work smarter, not harder. hard time staying in my own lines today. Alright, we're almost ready to turn this up. Alright. Sorry guys, kind of quiet today, just kind of focused. Last couple days I've not gotten a lot done because I was really chatty, so I'm a little quieter today. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's definitely, like, not interrupting me or anything. Sometimes it helps me take a break and not work too hard, you know what I mean? Nope. No. I don't have a formal editor that, like, I send my stuff to, as far as, like, to review formally. I do have a consultant that I go to, and I'll say, hey, here's what I have so far, can you give me some feedback? So it's not, like, a formal relationship as far as, like, oh, like, they're, like, I have to listen to them, or, like, anything, but it's more like a consultant. And then there is another person who is more or less kind of sort of an editor for me, but it's more like another set of feedback, but they are like a professional manga editor for like a publisher that I can go to for feedback if I want it. But it's not like they're editing Godsbane because they're publishing it. It's just, hey, can I have some feedback because, you know, you've offered to help me with feedback. So yes and no. That's my answer, yes and no. Yes'n't. Exactly. Yes'n't. It's a good way to put it. Alright, now let's see how everything looks once I turn everything back on. It needs a lot of cleanup, but it'll get there. Yeah, it's gonna need some cleanup. No, it's alright. I am going to go ahead and stop here, guys. I'm sorry the stream was, again, really short. I'm having a really, really hard time focusing. And if I'm having a hard time focusing, I don't want to be drawing so that I don't make a mistake and then just have to redraw it later. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here for the night. Thank you all so much for coming. I super duper appreciate it. I don't have the mental capacity that I feel like I can do a good job. So I'm already probably going to have to redraw this because I am not happy with this at all. Not happy with this at all. But at least I got to get a practice run in, and I can use this and refine it the next time I sit down and try again. So sometimes it's just easier just to redraw. So I'll try again next time. Thank you all so much for coming, and have a good night. Ciao!